Well, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. And as always, it is indeed our pleasure to come to you each week with some valuable information, vetted individuals, an opportunity for all of us to come together to share, to empower, to build, to strengthen, and hopefully to bridge the gaps between some of the things that are going on in the community that may not be too beneficial for the most of us or the least of us, to all of us working together, to pooling our resources intellectually and otherwise, to hopefully create a safe, peaceful, and nurturing environment. Tonight, I've called in one of the heavy hitters, and I call him a heavy hitter because he has been extremely seasoned in the community and doing the work in the community. And I mean, I don't mean it in no disrespect, so please don't take it that way. But when I think about you, I also think about like our elder statesmen.
You call me old?
No.
I feel like I'm not
calling you old.
I'm not 30 no more.
I'm not calling you old.
Not even
I'm
40.
calling you. I'm calling you vetted.
Vetted, yes.
All right.
All right.
In that, you know, like Danny, Congressman. Danny is always someplace doing something.
Man, we're so lucky to have Congressman Davis.
Yeah,
man.
and he's always open. I mean. And that's why I'm talking about you. He's always open to coming in and out, being involved, always putting his name behind endeavors like you do.
He just needs to put his name behind me.
Well, I think you know what? You might be pleasantly surprised. In my mind, I just associated you with him.
Yeah.
So I would think that his name is behind you. But then I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you spoken to him?
No, I think we're happy to have him in Congress.
Yeah, but
as long as he want to stay, he should stay, and that's a fact.
So that's what you're talking about then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But you know what? I think that the congressman is a visionary.
Yeah.
I think he's wise, and I think he's supposed to be in a position that when he see a younger statesman like yourself, who by doing all of the work on a state level, it's not a heavy lift.
Yeah.
You know,
it's different. I mean, electing a legislator to another legislative job, it just seems to be an order of operation.
Absolutely,
I mean,
it should be easy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, he's a federal lobbyist. I mean, he's a federal legislator.
Right.
I'm a state legislator, and we both pass bills. We negotiate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
because see, I think it's just on a different level.
Yeah.
My personal thought. But anyway, let me get on back into the show before we get down there, because we can sit up and talk forever. Listen, thank you again for tuning in to Fathers Who Care. Thank you, CAN TV, for the opportunity to have this platform and also bring in individuals like our friend and our statesman and our community servant, none other than State Rep LaShawn Ford. And those who know LaShawn know that in that 8th district, he's extremely active. On the state level, he's extremely active. And I just want to know that, I want you all to know that in all fairness, if there are some thoughts and or concerns that are pressing you and or your family, and you need some support, I'm just telling you, if you give his office a call, if he's available, he's going to make it.
Oh, even if I'm not available, my office is always working.
That's my point.
I'm glad you brought that up because
but
you don't always have to talk to me. I'm going to get the message.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So don't wait for a meeting.
Okay.
You know, you say we got a problem. I need my driver's license. They've been suspended. You tell me that, and all I can do is hear that. And guess what we'll do? We'll take care of it.
Yeah, but you're a little bit heavier than that, too. It's not just
I just don't want anybody to wait
Yeah.
for a meeting to tell me that, you know, I need to get my driver's license.
So let's start off with this then. You just tell us, and then you can just roll into once we find out how you feel and what motivates you. We know you do the job because that's what you're elected to do, but I think some people do it because it is a job, and some people do things because it's their passion. And so I want to ask you this before I go into talking to you about your passion. What is it about you that people may not know? I mean, we know that you are committed. We know that you're a man of faith. We know that you're a father. We know that you're a community resident. We know that you're committed to social change. But what really motivates you? What motivates you?
Whew, I mean, what motivates me is
Yeah.
there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I mean,
You're a real estate broker.
oh yes. I mean, but what motivates me is the work is never finished. And, being in the legislature now for 18 years, there's still a lot of bills that I want to see pass that I haven't been able to pass because it just hasn't become matured in people's mind. Even before we passed the cannabis legislation, before anybody in the Springfield area legislators, I was working on expunging bills for cannabis.
Yeah.
And then when it became a money issue and we opened up this cannabis legalization with the caveat of expunging criminal records for marijuana, it became, people got an appetite for it. But I've been saying that we need to eliminate those records of people that had felonies for cannabis.
So you're saying that that legislation is in effect, or
Yeah, right now, I mean,
so explain it.
So right now, when we passed the cannabis bill and made it legal, people that are on with felonies on their records, they should automatically be expunged at a certain level. I mean, you couldn't be a dealer selling cannabis, but if you had a small amount that you use for recreation, then and the police pull you over, then they will automatically expunge that.
Okay. So because I guess that's a concern that we can share if you like, we can talk about. But I want to know deep down before I get to talking to you about, because I'm just telling you what's on some folks' minds. All right. So I'm only speaking from in the choir, if you will.
Yeah.
Folks are talking about certain things. I want to bring it to you. I want to see how you feel. Folks are concerned about the current state of affairs on the federal level. Folks are concerned about what's going on with the cannabis. Folks are talking about how much money the cannabis made last year.
$2 billion.
And how much of that money is actually coming to the community. They kind of associated that with the lottery, how so much of the lottery money was supposed to have been coming.
I fixed the lottery though. But
Did you fix it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we want to talk about some of those things. So let's do this here in the interim of time, because I got so much I'd like to talk to you about. Tell our audience, if you will, how do you feel about the state of affairs with the state of Illinois? Let's start with that. How are things going? Just give me the budget. Let's start off with that. What's the budget for the state of Illinois?
Well, I mean,
because you are the purse string, right?
We are the legislature and we do appropriations.
So that means allocate the dollars.
Right. Even though we allocate it, we still have to take the message from the governor and his budget team of how much money we actually have to appropriate.
Okay.
And so we take his numbers and his budget and we work from there. There were times where we would create the budget regardless of what the governor did. Mm-hmm. We had our budget and he had his, and our priorities were our priorities and the governor's priorities were. But right now I think we follow, and the governor pretty much writes the budget with his budget address. That would be February 19th.
Okay.
And we're going to look at his budget and we're going to take it from there. He's projecting a $3.2 billion budget deficit, which means that if we don't raise revenue, that there will be programs that have to be cut.
A 3.2 budget deficit?
$3.2 billion budget deficit.
Oh, okay.
And so the question is, do we cut programs like child care? Do we cut programs for Medicaid? Do we cut programs for K through 12? Do we cut programs for the homeless? The question is, do we cut or do we raise revenue? So that's where we're at with that.
Mm-hmm. So, but why do we have a $3.2 billion deficit?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm not going to take a stab at it, I think, well, let me just tell you one reason why we could have it. And I'm not going to justify that it's 3.2 billion. I would say that with the cannabis, as you said, generating $2 billion in 1 year, that was money that we never expected to have. Well, where's that money at? One of the reasons why we have a $3.2 billion deficit that the governor could project is because there was the federal money from COVID. And we actually, yes. And what we did was we spent money, the one-time money, and made it a part of our budget. And so people may have gotten grants under that money, but then when it was time to renew those grants, there's no money for it. So, I mean, there's projected 3.2 billion. We shall see when Cockford really gives, or Gombe really gives up their actual numbers from the governor's office.
Okay.
You know, but that's what the record is.
Okay, so here we got some concerns, and you got an event coming up that's going to be on the 15th of February, all right?
I'm a part of an event.
Yeah, and so it's you and some of our other elected officials like Senate Majority Leader Kimberly Lyford, State Rep Camille Lilly,
And she's definitely, just so you know, she's a assistant majority leader.
Assistant Majority Leader. That's what I'm glad you said that. Thank you. Assistant Majority Leader Camille Lilly. Of course, yourself. And what chair?
I chair higher ed appropriations. About almost a $3.5 billion budget that we deal with our public universities and our community colleges.
Okay, and then we have First Cook County Commissioner Tara Stamp. So you all are doing, I guess, a community conversation, a community discussion on Project 2025. So my understanding is that you all will be convening folks at the Caron Center on the 15th. I believe it's 5628 West Washington at that Arts Center there, a nice center. And you're going to be engaging folks in what way?
Well, I'm a member of a panel. And the group that's putting on the panel, they want to talk about the impact that President Trump's 2025 plan has had and will have on the black community.
Okay. Now, since you open it up like that, so if folks are interested, how could they? Do they need to contact someone? Do they have to reserve seating?
No, they should just show up.
Just show up on the 15th
at the K. Ryan Center
at
on
12
the 15th
o'clock
at 12 p.m.
Okay.
It's a big auditorium. It's not. There's no cost, and you're welcome to be there.
Okay, and so they'll get a chance to, if they have some concerns about what's going on in the news right now, or what's going on in their lives in relationship to some of the cuts that has been said. Are these cuts are actually happening? Is it legal?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, I think so. I think that the federal government will be rolling back some of the grants that's coming to the state if we don't abide by some of Trump's beliefs. And his beliefs are, this is actually, and I don't normally talk like this, but Trump wants America to be the way it used to be.
And how was that?
That was when blacks didn't have the right to vote, when blacks had to go to a separate bathroom, a separate water fountain, where blacks had to go to their own segregated schools. Now, all of that seems extreme, but it's true. Anytime you are rolling back voting rights amendments, rolling back the right of individuals to go to schools in their neighborhood and fund them,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about taking us back. And that's the problem. I mean, I don't want to make any complaints, what I think, or I don't want to complain, but people should just be ready.
Well, people are more than just ready. People are up in arms, if you want to really know the truth, and they really want to know from elected officials like yourself and some of the other panelists, and of course our congressional office, Congressman, Senator Durbin, and all them other folks, what can be done. Because we're talking about people who maybe on Medicaid.
Yeah.
We're talking about people on Medicare. We're talking about seniors. We're talking about child care.
Yeah.
We're talking about folks trying to even get affordable medical supplies.
That's
all right.
prescriptions, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Prescription drugs, like insulin or something,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm trying to figure out, because the folks are really wanting to know. And so on the 15th of February, which it sounds like that should be Saturday,
Yes.
at 12 o'clock noon at 5628 West Washington, there would be a community discussion on Project 2025 and beyond.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me again. Now tell me what's going on, because we're going to take it to another level,
Yeah.
because I believe folks should pool resources and folks should work together, all right?
Yeah.
But I believe folks have not when they ask not, and I think some folks just may not know. So now you're not only a state rep, but you're also a broker,
That's right.
an insurance broker.
Insurance
I'm saying
and real estate. both.
Insurance and real estate. Okay, so talk to us about, it's an event that's coming up that's called Family Financial Empowerment Series.
You know,
What's going on with that?
these are two young men that I actually met, and they have their own company, and they talk about family empowerment.
Okay.
And through financial literacy and how to invest. These are young college students, juniors in college. And I was so impressed with them that I said that I
Put
need
my
to
name on it,
review
I'm
all-
with you, right?
I actually not just put my name on it. I said I want you guys to do a series. So I said, why don't we plan it? I'll get us a location, and I want one every month,
Okay.
and I'll pay you. So they're juniors in college, and I'm doing everything I can to support them. They're
So,
ready.
and this would be at the Austin Branch Library
Yes,
at 5616 West Race.
right.
So you're doing a lot of things in the area, in the community, and so this is another opportunity for young people and elders as well, others as well in the community who are interested in financial literacy, networking opportunities, an opportunity to kind of come together.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's right.
Okay, so we got that going. So that's the 15th. Then we got this event on the 22nd.
Oh yeah, that's the
next Saturday.
Yes.
So you got-
right.
so you're doing it the next
You
Saturday.
reminding me.
Oh yeah, I'm following you,
Yes,
man.
yes.
So we got the 15th is this Saturday. The next Saturday is the financial event. Then we have on Monday the 17th is going to be Loretta Hospital is hosting the second annual community movie night, which is really nice. I mean, I went to the one last
did?
year. Last
Okay.
year, it was really, really nice. All right, we did it at the Caron Center.
Oh, is that where it was last year? Now
Yeah.
they're having it back at the hospital.
I think it should be at the hospital.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
theirs.
I really think it should be there, because I think the hospital, it gives you that coziness.
Right.
The Caron Center, it was good, but it was real big, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't have, the seating on that, I mean, it's a real beautiful place. There,
Right.
don't get me wrong. But that's going to be on the 17th. It's going to be the 6888. That's one show that's going to be at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And then Just Mercy would be one at 8 o'clock.
I saw Just Mercy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And that starts at 8, and
Right.
it's going to be over at 10:08. I
Okay.
don't know if I can stay up that late.
Well, you say you saw it already, so I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. But that's one of them.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
And when
at
I
the
see
time.
something that started at 8, it's like, oh Lord.
Yeah,
You don't have that problem, I can tell.
Yeah, well, I sit up or not, but I don't. I don't be out there doing it.
Yes.
Not like I used to. Instead, I might be at home and I might not fall completely asleep to about 10 something,
Yeah.
11. But I don't want to be out there though.
Yes.
I mean,
Different.
it's a different story. But anyway, Rep, talk to me now. What are the duties of a state rep? You was talking about it earlier, how you all come together to legislate to appropriate dollars. Tell us what that means.
Well, I mean, our job is to legislate, appropriate dollars that we collect from the taxpayers.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you're because I'm chair of higher ed approach, if you have a student, a young person in your family friend or something, and they're in high school, you could go to any city college in Chicago and get dual enrollment credits. You could go to a city college for free with a B average. That's amazing. That's the work that we're doing.
It is.
With the mayor of the city of Chicago and Juan Salgado over at city colleges. I think people need to understand the value of a free education.
So is that still available?
It's still available.
So can young people still get? Because I remember back in some days that young people were able to get full ride scholarships at state universities.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I remember. I was there when I gave scholarships to our constituents, and Pat Quinn killed it. Yeah.
That was sad.
That was sad.
That was really sad. I mean, because so many young people who didn't have the resources to go to college were able to go to college and was able to go to city, I think it was state colleges,
State
right?
colleges, yes.
And so
universities, yeah.
Right. So is that back now? Or
No,
what?
that's not back. And, it's something that we should probably have a hearing on.
Okay, let's
because
cut
that
this.
should come back.
I want to talk about something else. I apologize for hitting you with so much.
Yeah.
But maybe you'll give me a part two.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
So
as long as you call the office and schedule it. Otherwise, I'll say yes and be like, oh.
Yeah, well, that's what happened when you got favor.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I ain't mad about it. All right. I can't help it because I'm talking to.
Oh, yeah, you call me anytime. We
Or
can
I
talk.
got a relationship.
But then when it's like, put it on the schedule, I'm like, oh, Lord. I said yes to that, and they got me on.
Okay, but let's do this here. There's this new push that's going on about the opioid prevention sites.
Yes.
And there's another push out about resources that's coming in for the opioid and heroin task force. There's a vision that you started that you've been actively working with, and you have empowered some community residents and community agencies to work together to do some work. So tell us about what is the mission behind the West Side Heroin and Opioid Task Force, and what's your vision, what's your purpose, and what's the goal for this group, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. I think that it's important to know that the West Side Heroin and Opioid Task Force, of course, you are a member of the task force, was established to bring the harm reduction community and everyone that works in that space under one roof, to not compete for grants, but to make sure that everyone that's a part of that have access and support them in getting grants to empower the work of harm reduction. So we do work on the streets and train people with Narcan, naloxone, and harm reduction strategies. I think that what we have to do is make sure that we get back to the doing both what we're doing and never forget about why we were started. Making our partners feel comfortable with being members.
So I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Getting back to where we started and making our partners comfortable. I know that, I'm in the circle of the group of a lot of us coming together. We meet. We have our own meetings every month. They have their meetings every month. So we always interacting with each other. And we always, out here together. So what is it that you're envisioning, or what is it that you're trying to, the mission that you want to keep,
Yeah.
relevant?
So when you look at a person struggling with a substance use disorder,
Right.
they have other issues beside being addicted to a substance that they don't want to be addicted to.
Okay.
A lot of times people are homeless, they're unemployed, they have behavioral health problems. There are so many other comorbidities that we have to deal with. And the task force must empower agencies, like Father Who Cares, that deal with individuals where they're at.
Okay.
People that have young people, because you have people with substance use disorder, they have children.
Mm-hmm.
Who's supporting organizations that deal with children, the youth? We can't just worry about the parent when we have to strengthen the parent, but while strengthening the parent, we have to make sure that they're strengthened enough, and if they can't, we have to help their kids. That's
Okay.
all I'm trying to say. Because if a parent is not empowered to help their kids, it's going to hurt them even more.
Right.
And that's going to force them or possibly lead them to using because there's so much stress.
So let me just do this here. If a person was interested in calling your office, what number would they call?
I'll make sure you have that number.
Okay. So, but also, can you also give them, because you're always putting things out on the website.
Yes.
So what's the website that they can go to keep abreast to? Some of the
Yeah, my website is LaShawnFord.com.
Okay.
That's my website.
And I encourage you all to get in touch with Father Who Care at 773-287-5821, 773-287-5821, and we'll definitely keep you in the loop on some of the activities that the rep is involved in the community. Particularly this Saturday, it's going to be at the Caron Center, 5628 West Washington, Project 2025. State Senator, Majority Leader Kimberly Lyford, Assistant Majority Leader Camille Lilly, of course, our Chair of Education, LaShawn Ford, and Representative LaShawn Ford, and County Commissioner Tara Stamps. That'll be this Saturday on the 15th.
At 12 o'clock.
At 12 o'clock. And then the 17th, movie night at the Loretta Hospital. 6888. I actually saw that movie. It was good. I actually enjoyed it. Just Mercy. So it'll be movie nights over there at the hospital. And then on the 25th, the 22nd, forgive me, there will be a family financial empowerment series at the Austin Branch Library on the 22nd from 12 to 1. So listen, for additional information, we want you to get in touch with us. If you're interested in having young folks involved in some of the activities that we're doing in the community, please give us a call at 287-5821-773. We're engaging young people between the ages of 12, 13 to 24. Of course, we don't turn them away if they come in and they actually want to be involved. It's a drop-in center. It's a youth leadership and development center. They can get community service hours. We want to provide them with a nurturing environment so they can find a place to call their own. But Rep, in closing, give us some closing comments on what you'd like for us to know.
I'm going to tell you, on February 12th was the anniversary of the NAACP founding. And that was in 1909.
Mm-hmm.
With the challenges that we're going to face at the state and federal level,
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage everyone to find an organization to get behind so that you don't have to fight this fight alone.
Right.
Fathers Who Care, and NAACP, wherever you're at, we need to fight together. And so I would join these organizations, the NAACP, wherever you're at, I would join those organizations because you need someone to fight with. And my number is 773-750-0866.
750-0866. So listen, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Rep, for coming by. You're always there when we need you, and thank you for the leadership. And I think what we might want to do one day, if you don't mind, is we have a next meeting another show, and we'll have you and the congressman on the
Oh,
show.
that would be nice.
And we'll get a chance to have the congressman and you to talk about the good work that you're doing. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you all for the good work that you're doing. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you, Ebony, for tuning in there. Thank you, Solomon, for watching. Thank all of you at CAN TV for being supportive of the work that we're doing. God bless
You got
you.
listeners there.
And we got listeners there, so tell them hi, sir.
Well, hey, what's up? What's this, Facebook?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Facebook?
Hey, Facebook, what's up? So thanks again. Good night. God bless. Listen, we can do it. We must do it. And a public service announcement, please change those batteries in your smoke detectors and change those batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. Listen, it's that time of the year. God bless you all. God keep you all. Continue to do the good work. We love you. God loves you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. We'll see you soon. Good night.